Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever's going on in your mind, acknowledge these things now without judgment or criticism. Gently set them aside now, just for these next few minutes. Later, you can pick up where you left off, maybe leaving some of the heavy things behind, maybe taking something new with you as you move forward into your day or evening. Begin to find a comfortable stillness now. Take a breath. Welcome to this moment of meditation. As you take this next breath, notice where it begins, where it moves, and how it ends. Noticing even the pause in between. We often think of the rainbow described in Genesis 9 as the sign of God's faithfulness. But just before that, in Genesis 8, Noah makes an offering to the Lord after the flood, and God commits to never again curse the earth. But what God says next completes this promise. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. The fact that life is filled with cycles and seasons is in itself evidence of God's faithfulness. Our environment, our relationships, even our very lives are cyclical and constantly changing. These changing cycles and shifting seasons are God-designed and sacred. Today, God may be inviting us to embrace these seasons of life as sacred instead of pushing against them. To enjoy what currently is without clinging to it or trying to keep it the same. To cultivate deep gratitude for the present without fearing its loss in the future. We are finite beings, and if this feels really difficult, don't worry, you're not alone. But our truest self, our spirit, is one with the infinite, the eternal one. So that which is shifting and changing and passing doesn't have to cause us to fear. As we behold the infinite in everything that is finite, we can begin to embrace these seasons as sacred. One author writes, "I envy the tree, how it reaches but never holds." Notice without judgment or criticism. What have you tried to hold on to? What have you tried to keep from changing? How might God be calling you to loosen your grip? To hold these things with an open hand and simply enjoy it. Where have you been anxious or fearful of loss? With your breath, can you soften into God's embrace now? Simply letting His presence and perfect love begin to overcome the fear. There is abundant grace for the present moment. We cannot yet access grace for those future moments. So we come back to this present season of life, this day, this moment. You are here. God is here. The season you are in had a beginning, has a middle, and will have an end. Just as this next breath you take has a beginning, has a middle, and will have an end. Just as this day had a beginning, has a middle, and will have an end. And so on, and so on. Let these sacred seasons be a reminder of God's faithfulness. Abba, you established changing cycles and seasons. And so we open our hands, which are sometimes gripped tight, to embrace the seasons as sacred. Amen.